Welcome, everyone. This is Paul Finck, and we are going live talking about do you need a coach? How do you know you need a coach? How do you know? And yes, this may be a little self serving for me. Who here knows that I'm a coach? And I get that. Only I want to help you out in really understanding when it is that you want to reach out, when it is that you want to grab hold of someone to guide you, to be by your side, to be your board of advisors, your cheerleader, your accountability partner. When is it that you should have a coach by your side? One right off the bat is, and welcome, everyone. We are all over the place on multiple different platforms right now. So people are coming in from different places. I want to make sure our chat is up and available, and it is. So absolutely just join in. Let me know what's going on with you and join in on what your thoughts are. Right off the bat, what do you think some of the signs are? Absolutely share, because we all come from a different angle. We're coming from a different point of view. And so, how do you know you need a coach, or is there ever a time? There's a certain group of people that go, no, I don't need anybody. I got this. Maybe. And I got to tell you, for a long time, I was in that camp. And wasn't that I absolutely thought, oh, I don't need any help? No, it was from the point of view that I felt like I didn't want to be vulnerable. I didn't want to let people in. I didn't want to pull back the curtain and really show my underbelly, if you will, where all my weaknesses were, where all my challenges were. And that's probably why most people shun having any sort of coaching or counseling, any sort of mentorship in their life, is that they feel embarrassed. They feel vulnerable to open up to somebody, and that's an uncomfortable place. So they don't do it. They shun it, and I did that for a long time. I put a ton of walls up to keep people away, to keep people from really knowing who I was, knowing what I was about, because that was the safe place. That was the secure place. And so, first and foremost, if you've never held out your hand and said, I need help, to somebody else, man, that's a really good start. If you've never said that, because it's one of the biggest, the most powerful expressions that you can do for your own well-being. I need help. I do not know. That's the key component. And when you're able to do that, and when you're able to share that with another human being, it opens up all the possibilities, opens up all there is available to you in your life. Because most of us enter this world not knowing much. You know, we have a universal download of knowing how to eat, how to chew, how to breathe. Past that, it's anyone's guess. And we've got to learn all these other skill sets, learn all these other components on how to think, how to be, how to engage, how to communicate, let alone being an entrepreneur, where now it's a whole nother group of skill sets on how to grow a business, sales, marketing, influence, persuasion, management, understanding how to work within a team, communicating effectively. All these components, plus, we need to know to have a successful, sustainable business. And so when you combine those two things of understanding personal engagement as well as business engagement, which is what's necessary for a phenomenal, successful long-term business and life, well, it's no wonder that coaching is needed. The question is, one, you've got to recognize that everybody needs a coach. And I say that such a broad scope. It's like, yeah, whatever. No, we only know so much. When I was in my 20s and 30s, I went right out of college, right into straight commission sales. Within 6 months, I had my best friend working for me. Within 12 months, had my own distribution company with 7 salespeople. So I was right out of the gate. I was a CEO. I was doing it. Was I highly successful? I was moderately successful. For the time, for a 20-plus-year-old, I was 22. Man, I thought I was hot stuff. But the reality is that there was so much more that I needed to know. And yet, when I was already president, there wasn't a space for me to go and ask. There wasn't people that I would go, oh, yeah. I know that I have this title of president, only I don't know anything. I didn't feel comfortable in doing that. And so I put up this wall like I know it all. And that hurt my growth, not just short term. We're talking 10, 15 years where I barely moved the needle. I barely grew. That's the shame of it all. That's the hard part. You've got to know how to take that know-it-all hat off, which I had. I was there. And again, put out your hands and go, I don't know. How do I help myself? How do I grow? How do I do these things? I don't know. And ask for help. So right off the bat, if you've never, ever done that, or you, more importantly, you don't do that some way, somehow on a regular basis, boy, oh boy, stretch yourself. Dare to be vulnerable. Dare to ask that question, to express that to somebody else, and watch what happens. Once I got past that idea that I had to know it all, that I could open up and go, I don't know. How do I do this? Is when everything opened up. Everything just exponentially exploded in my business. And so then it's a matter of what now? What do you do? How do you know that you need more, if you will? Most people have, and they recognize that they're in a stagnation, if you will. And unfortunately, everybody at one point or another ends up in that space. So one clue and one thing to look for is, have you been making the same amount of money every year for the last 5 years? Have you been in that space where it's pretty much the same, maybe a 10% incremental increase every year, but other than that, it really hasn't grown much, which would be an indication that you're not in growth, you're not in development, that you've stagnated. That stagnation is a great reason to reach out and grab hold of a coach. Great reason to grab hold of somebody who can be your mentor, to be by your side. We are horrible at seeing the back of our head, of seeing who we really are, of seeing how we engage in the world. We're horrible at self-reflection. And with that, that's what a coach can do for you. Be that outside voice and that outside eyes to really see from a 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 foot view of what's really going on in your world, to give you great feedback. That is what great coaches do for their clientele. And one of the things that you'll get out of the coaching experience. And when you are in that stagnation place, how do you move past that? How do you jump the fence, if you will? That's where a coach can really play in and be effective for you. Also, whenever you feel like you are out of balance, and we've got some people commenting in, and I will share. Thanks for inspiring. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness. Oh my gosh. Yes, indeed. And I'll share that. Dr. Deborah, Absolutely. Thanks for inspiring us. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness. Asking for help is the number one sign of strength, number one sign of leadership, number one sign of the fact that you actually have it all together. And it's really amazing how I was not that person in my younger years. I thought I had to be this certain image. And as soon as you get clear that you can ask for help, that you shouldn't be the smartest person in the room, that's when you can have real growth. And so one of the key components of having a coach, but everyone can utilize a coach. Um, as Paul says here, having a coach is invaluable for personal and professional growth. And then this is the next level to that. As Christian was saying, absolutely. It's not just not knowing what to do, it's then holding you accountable so that you actually do it and then helping you with adjustments along the way. One of the key components that I've experienced over the years is that most people don't grow, don't develop, don't succeed at the level in which they know they could for two reasons. One, they just don't know. They don't know certain components, certain skill sets, certain methodologies, certain knowledge base. They just don't know. And so if you don't know how to market, you don't know how to communicate effectively, you don't know how to be a leader or manage a team effectively, learning those skill sets will make a huge difference. And that's what a coach can bring to the table. The second reason why people don't succeed is that they just don't know. They know what to do, but they don't know how to bring themselves to do it consistently, persistently, to create success. The major success happens when you're able to create a systematic, sustainable, scalable business. And that means that you're operating the business over time. And so, unless you're able to do skill sets, unless you're able to coordinate things so that you're doing them persistently over time, you're never going to create this magic of abundance and this magic of a business. And so, recognizing that it's either you don't know what you don't know, and you don't know certain skill sets to create magic, or you don't know how to bring yourself to do it consistently, persistently yet, which means accountability partner, advisors, feedback, someone to help keep you on task and keep you on track. And that's where that double-edged sword of giving you the feedback as well as the knowledge base that a great coach can do for you, as well as holding you on track when you already know what to do. How do you keep motivated? How do you keep focused? How do you keep determined, committed to the end result? Making sure that you keep your vision in mind every step of the way, and redesign, reinvent, recreate all on a continuous basis to create that perfect model of your life, that perfect model of where you're going. These are all components of what it takes to when you're engaging with a coach, and why you would need one, why you would want one in your life. Uh, Obstacles, blind spots. You cannot see the back of your head while others can, and a coach would do that for you. All these are great reasons. Most people that come on board with me, as Andy says, um, see the back of my head when I can't see things from a different perspective. One of the great things with my background is I've worked in multiple different industries, creating $1 million success, multi-million dollar success in multiple different industries. And in that way, I come with a multitude of methodologies that are grabbed from different spaces. And that gives me new perspective for most people. because most people get into one industry and they tend to stay the course in one particular industry. Whereas I've been in a half dozen plus different industries over the last 30, almost 40 years now. And so that gives that perspective, understanding that knowledge base of support and help. I also happen to have a background in psychology, which definitely helps. One of the things that you want to coach for is a work-life balance. And one of the biggest challenges that I've seen with people that are coaching work-life balance is that they're really good at the work part, but they're not really good at the personal part, or they're really good at the personal part, but they have moderate success or knowledge base in the work side of the equation. Whereas one of my background is huge background in clinical psychology, in all the methodologies of the mind and body connection, huge methodologies, certifications in the understanding of the connection between what we think and what we do and what comes into our life. So manifestation, if you will, in multiple different levels, as well as hardcore business methodology for almost 40 years. And that combination can really be a huge asset. Most people are looking for that work-life balance and that understanding on how do I navigate this crazy world of wanting and desiring that abundance on a financial level, on a business level, as well as wanting the abundance of friends and family and connection and love, happiness, joy, and all those other pieces that aren't always talked about in the business world. How do you mirror the two? How do you make that happen? That's why so many people would search out for a coach, is because they're looking for those answers. Finding the effective coach, well, that may be a different conversation. But why would you look for a coach in the first place? Looking for that work-life balance, knowing that you're stagnant and stuck, either in your personal life or your business life, knowing that you're in toxic relationships, knowing that you're in a work environment that you hate, or in a personal relationship that you're having challenge with. These are all reasons to hire a coach. An effective coach can help you navigate all those decisions so that you can come out the other side doing amazing. See, one of the key components is that your life is made up of million different decisions. We usually focus in on the big ones, the really big rocks. However, I got to tell you, it's all your decisions, from the small to the large, that create a difference in where you end up, where you're going to end up next week, next month, and extremely where you're going to end up in a year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. I know my journey. The reason why I'm here with all of you today is because the decisions I made 20 years ago to step up my game, to be this person, to open up to vulnerability, to bring in a coach and multiple coaches into my life, to create a magnitude of results, knowing that this was my destiny. This was where I was headed. One of the things that I will say that is a great reason to grab hold of a coach when you don't know what your destiny is, when you don't know where you're headed, when you don't know what that vision is for you 5, 10, 15, 20 years in the future. That's a great reason as well to hire a coach who can go through that conversation with you so that you get really clear as to where you're going. You can only end up in places that you can visualize. You can only end up in places that you are headed. Otherwise, you'll have a tendency to just go in a circle. So having clarity of vision, clarity of focus, clarity of process, clarity of your decision-making component along the way and how that impacts every day, how that impacts where you're going to end up. These are all the reasons to hire a coach, to bring them into your life. How are we doing so far? Thank you so much, Frank. I appreciate that. Jessica, people are commenting all along. Frank says, love the insight. Appreciate that. Andy, a new set of eyes. Absolutely, coach, a new set of eyes that can really help see things from a different perspective. And I mentioned that before. All of these components, and I want all of you to know, for all of you, and here's something that I will share with you real quickly. I want to have you come on board. We've got a couple programs available to you. One, of course, is our Trailblazers program. And our Trailblazers program is a great way. You want to learn more about how to grab hold or work with a coach. This is a program that is a absolute game changer, because we'll walk you through all the components of how to clarify your vision, how to get clear with your tasks on a day-to-day basis, how to get clear with your time management so that all this is possible, so that you can create magic in the pockets of time that you have left. Most people shun coaches because they feel like they don't have the time or energy. However, if you don't have the time or energy to create something great in your life, that's when you want a coach, let alone need one. And this program, Trailblazers, is a great way to get started. I would take a look at that. The QR code is on the screen, and go ahead and take a look at how we can help you out. Really a moderate, you can go month by month and get in the game and watch what happens. And we lay out a blueprint for you step by step on how to make this happen in your life and how to create magic. Why do you need a coach? You're in a comfort zone. You don't know how to get out. You've been stagnant for years. You want a work-life balance. You're having challenge with clarity of your focus, clarity of where you're going, clarity of what you're doing. You're stumbling with seeing your blind spots, knowing that greatness is on the other side, and yet you can't quite see how to get out, how to move forward. You've got obstacles, blocks, fears that are keeping you from ever creating your magic, ever creating the life that you know you deserve. Quick message with a powerful impact. What I'll tell you is this, is that you deserve greatness. You deserve to live your fullest potential. You deserve to create all that is inside of you and bring it to fruition, bring it to this world so that you can shine. How to do that best, how to do that most readily, how to create that in your world is by stepping up, is by hiring someone to be by your side who can be your cheerleader, your accountability partner, your counselor, your board of advisors in your business, and all of this combined to create that life for you. Because the biggest shame of all is to not have lived your fullest potential. The biggest shame of all is all the dreams and desires, all the vision that you could have had dies with you. Don't let that happen. Hire a coach, hire somebody to be by your side. Would love it if it was me. Only hire somebody, reach your fullest potential. Make sure that you got a team of people around you that will guide you to your new future. Because when you do, boy, life is glorious. Look forward to seeing you all soon, talking to you soon. You would love to engage with Trailblazers, come hang out in that regard. We've got so much here on the other side. Absolutely take a gander at the Maverick universe and would love to have you here. No matter what, make sure your life is absolutely everything that you dreamed it could ever be and more. Till next time, guys.